What is going on, y'all? Robert Sykes, KetoSavage.com, coming at you with another AMA. This one is all about the tipping point of the ketogenic diet. Is it a fad? Is it not a fad? Where are things going to go? What direction are things headed? But before we dive into it, let's roll the intro. All right, so this question is brought to us from Jody, and Jody asks, what do you think was the turning point in your keto diet, keto brick, keto savage lifestyle that gave you clarity that the journey you were on was the right one for you and Crystal? How far into your podcast, diet, lifestyle business did you see the bigger picture and commit to yourself to really growing a business with keto as the foundation? Do you ever see keto being an avenue for investors? There's kind of like three questions in this, so we'll just dive into all of them. Do you ever see keto being an avenue for investors for the future, or do you foresee a downturn in its popularity? Either way, how do you think it would impact your own business and lifestyle goals for the future? And then, do you see keto going more mainstream as a healthy lifestyle to follow for all, or being relegated to the niche market it currently possesses and eventually possibly falling out of favor, or being viewed as merely a fad diet for our times? All right, so interesting question, and this question, I'm going way back into the archives here on these AMA. This one was submitted in August of 2020, so hopefully that provides some context as to how the question itself was framed, but I think it's still very relevant today in 2022. All right, so as far as the first part of that question, when did I recognize that I was on the right path and kind of sink my teeth into it fully? I started doing keto back in 2015. From a branding business standpoint, I launched Keto Savage on July 1st of 2016. That's when I launched my website, which is not the same website I have now. I built that one with WordPress. It was rudimentary at best, but that was my website. I launched my first book, which I don't even talk about anymore because I'm kind of embarrassed by it. And that's when I really created a brand and business around Keto Savage. That's when I launched my Instagram, my podcast, all that stuff. And I was confident then when I launched it. I mean, I was confident obviously because I launched it, but I had had enough success with it personally that I felt like it was a healthier alternative to what was currently out there. So I felt confident that it was going to be a thing that I could use to offer value. However, I launched the website, I launched the book, I didn't sell a single book, didn't have a single coaching client. So that kind of wears on you a little bit. I mean, it took a little blow to my confidence, but at the same time, I was so confident in what it had done for me personally that I stuck with it. And I really started to pick up speed. I don't know. I think I probably started picking up speed. I was coaching people locally at my gym that I was training at in Washington at the time. And then I won my pro card in 2017. That was definitely an aha moment because I just looked and felt way better, honestly, than all the other competitors I was up against. And that gave me a ton of confidence because here I am competing with the best of the best, and I'm excelling in a diet that's so very counter to what they're doing, and I'm feeling better. My hormones weren't tanking like theirs were. It was more sustainable. Like, that was definitely an aha moment. And then they were also taking an interest into what I was doing because it was so far removed from what they were used to. But honestly, once I started putting content out there, like a whole bunch of YouTube videos, a whole bunch of podcasts, didn't happen overnight by any means, but over months and months and months and months of doing that, Instagram DMs, things of that nature, I started to see people gaining an interest in it, people asking questions, people finding success with it, people having their own success stories, those telling, them telling me that, getting emails every single day about how something I had said or something that they had done had positively impacted their life for the better and given them hope. And once I started getting those emails, once I saw people lose 100 plus pounds, improve their hormone function, improve their relationship with food, and just have hope for their life, that's when I'm like, you know what, this is it. I know that I'm on the right path, and I still get those emails every single day. And that is the most rewarding, fulfilling thing that I can ever mention. I mean, that is why I do what I do. I started getting a lot of those probably in 2017. I also just started doing a lot more collaborative stuff. Like, that's when I met Danny Vega. I was asked to speak at KetoCon. I did that Deeper State Keto course, built that alongside Keto Connect. So I was doing all these collabs, and people that had a larger audience than me were starting to find me. And that was also, kind of working toward building my confidence and feeling like I had something worth saying. As far as it comes to your second part question about investors and things of that nature. Again, this was written in 2020, and as you all can probably recognize at this point, there's a ton of investors flooding the keto market. There's all these products coming into the space now. There's all these people coming into the space now. And it's weird because they'll come in out of nowhere, having not done keto for any length of time, maybe not even doing keto. Like if you've got a ketogenic product and you don't do keto yourself, that is usually a pretty telltale sign for me that you're in it for the money more so than you are for, the health reasons. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with that necessarily. Like I respect entrepreneurs, I respect business people, but if you're not living what you're doing, if you're not practicing what you're preaching, if you aren't living the lifestyle, then I can't really put as much weight into what it is you're trying to sell me, because it's obvious that you're not taking those same principles and applying them to your own life. So I always kind of look at that as a litmus test, so to speak, for are people doing it for the right reasons? Right reasons being they've also found tremendous success with the diet and lifestyle. For me, I started doing keto back in 2015 before I ever built Keto Savage as a brand, before I ever built Keto Brick as a brand. Like I've been doing the diet strictly since then because I'm such a believer in it. Yeah, look at that. I mean, there are definitely investors out there. There's ketogenic products flooding the market right now. Some of them are great. Some of them are the farthest thing from great. So you have to really, have a wary eye as a consumer. Is this product using quality ingredients? Are they outsourcing the production to a co-pack that doesn't care about the ingredients in there? Are they just doing this to turn a profit and make a margin and not in it for the right reasons of improving people's health? So you definitely have to look out for that now, because keto has become popularized. There is a hype around it. And whenever there's a hype around anything, people are going to come and try to monetize upon that. When it comes to your third and final question about, do you see keto going more mainstream as a healthy lifestyle to follow for all, or being relegated to the niche market? And is there a possibility of it being viewed as a fad diet and falling out of favor? I definitely think everybody would benefit from trying keto at some point or another in their life. Like I've said on multiple podcasts, most people are no longer fat adapted in the sense that they haven't had to use fat and ketones for fuel since they were drinking their mother's breast milk at birth. So a lot of people are no longer metabolically flexible in that sense. They've been just carb dependent for their vast majority of their lives. So everybody would likely benefit from trying keto. Now, for some people, it's not going to be sustainable for them due to psychological reasons. Maybe they've got a family history of familial hypercholesterolemia and they can't handle that much saturated fat. There are some factors at play. I'm not suggesting that the ketogenic diet is best for everyone. I do think everyone would benefit from trying it. I do think a large percentage of the population is going to do well with keto long term. You just have to eat the right foods, adopt the right mindset, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think that keto itself is going to fall out of favor in totality. There's been a lot of people in the keto space jumping out of the keto space right now, and as of late, as of the past several months, they started, they have a keto name in their Instagram bio. They've got a keto branded website. They're specializing in keto coaching, and then a few months go by and they change their name. They change it to something totally different that doesn't have keto in the title. You kind of have to wonder why those people are there in the first place. Like, are they just trying to follow that hype train, which is probably the case? Or are they truly just changing their philosophy towards nutrition? But they're doing like 180-degree shifts sometimes, which kind of raises a red flag in my opinion. Personally, I do think the bubble, the hype, the apex of keto's popularity has definitely come and gone. Like, there's not this massive surge like there was in 2018 or so, 2019. But I don't think keto itself is going to fall out of favor in the context of, it being this tarnished word. I mean, it's just a word. Like ketogenic diets, keto adapted, that's a metabolic state. Like, you can't really make a metabolic state this bad thing that is, a negative in people's minds. I mean, I guess you can, but those people are just, they associate with a negative thing out of ignorance, I would think. It's not like the South Beach diet or the whatever other random hype diet there is. Like, the ketogenic diet is simply a metabolic state. Are you metabolically in a state of ketosis? Are you fat adapted? Are you keto adapted? These are like medical terms, scientific terms. You can't really make that a fad, so to speak. So I don't think it's going to fall out of favor in that context. I think it will fall out of favor in the sense of people just no longer having as much hype around it, so they just go on and do something else. Me personally, I'm going all in on it because it is a metabolic state. Like, it's not something that like a South Beach diet that could fall out of favor. It is a metabolic state that I've found great benefit in. I've been doing it for 7+ years now without fail, without deviation. I don't really see any reason to deviate because it continues to add value to my life. I feel like I'm able to take the ketogenic diet and add value to other people's lives through what I'm teaching, what I'm educating around, what I'm hopefully inspiring around. So I think there's a ton of people that still need to learn and benefit about keto. I mean, if you look at the average population, we're still definitely in a state of morbid obesity, metabolic dysfunction, type 2 diabetes is running rampant. I mean, there's just a bunch of unhealthy people out there. And if they can benefit from keto and they can benefit from my teachings, my content, then why in the world would I want to deviate from that opportunity? So it continues to work exceedingly well for me. I believe it can continue to work exceedingly well for others that have yet to discover it. So I'm going to be here, tried and true, fighting this same fight, for many, many years to come. So that's kind of where I'm planting my flag there. And there's a lot of people in the keto space that are also planting their flag there because they too have come to find all the benefits of adopting a ketogenic diet and lifestyle, and they are in it for the right reasons. So to those people, I salute you. I'm right there with you. We're fighting the fight together. Hopefully that answers your question, Jody. Sorry for answering it 2 years later, but hopefully I did answer your question. 2 years ago, you requested the peanut butter bricks, so I'm going to send you some peanut butter bricks. For those of you that do not know how these AMA videos work, there's a Google form in the description below. If you submit a good, well-thought-out question and I use your question in one of these AMA videos, I will send you some free keto bricks with the flavor of your choosing. Thank you all so very much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.